I was again tonight, forcing laughter, faking smiles, same old tired, lonely place. Walls of insincerity, shifting eyes and vacancy, vanished when I saw your face. All I can say is it was enchanting to meet you. Your eyes whispered, have we met? Across the room, your silhouette starts to make its way to me. The playful conversation starts, counter all your quick remarks like passing notes in secrecy. And it was enchanting to meet you. All I can say is I was enchanted to meet you. This night is sparkling, don't you let it go. I'm on last ride, rushing all the way home. I'll spend forever wondering if you knew I was enchanted to meet you. Come on. She's a girl with the best intentions. He's a man of his own invention. She looked out the window, she walked out the door. But she followed him and he said, what you looking for? She said, I want something that I want, something that I tell myself I need, something that I want, and I need everything I see, something that I want, something that I tell myself I need, something that I want.
An essential I would need in my cottage is probably my dog, because it would just get lonely out there and he's just my best friend. The seventh dwarf I would be is happy, because I'm just a happy and positive person in most situations. Mrs. Zimmerman's life would probably make the best fairy tale, because she just always has crazy stories and I'm sure it would be very exciting. The teacher that would survive a dangerous forest would probably be Coach Funk, because she's just awesome and could just destroy anything in her path. An essential I would need on a quest is Dora's map, because I never really have any idea where I'm going, and that would just be really helpful.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show, I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. And I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain, 'cause I got friends in low place.
If I had to pick an animal to be my sidekick, it would have to be my dog Jax. I had him since I was in 6th grade. If I could pick any essential I'll need in my cottage, it would have to be a shotgun, because I could scare away the predators and people who are not allowed to come near my cottage. If I had to pick one of the 7 dwarfs to be, I would have to pick Happy, because I'm always happy, never in a bad mood, very, very rarely. The teacher that would survive the Enchanted Forest would have to be Miss Pro, because she has a plan for everything and anything. If I was going up against an evil villain in the Enchanted Forest, the superpower I'll have would be invisibility, because I could sucker punch the villain and defeat him.
Paint a picture, choose your colors extra wise, especially what you put on my mind. Imagine what it'd be like to touch
woodland creature, I would be a raccoon because I want to run around like Bonnie and Clyde with Karsten Kinky. If I were in a fairy tale, I would want to be in Shrek because it's a combination of every single fairy tale. A cottage essential for me would be a crushed ice machine because if you know me, you know that I'm absolutely addicted to crushed ice. If I were going up against a villain in the forest, I would want to be a mind reader so I could predict their next move. I would want to be a superhero in a fairy tale, but I'm wondering, would I get the muscles?
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey, every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way you're around it.
If I was a woodland creature, I would be a raccoon because they cause trouble, but they're able to get away with it because they're so sneaky. If I were in a fairy tale, I would want to be in Hansel and Gretel because they get to eat the candy house and they have a cool story to tell. If I was going up against a villain in the forest, I would want my superpower to be teleportation and I could just teleport out of the forest and go get a burger or something. If I could pick any animal sidekick, I would pick a kangaroo because they're fast, they hop, they can flex, but they can't walk backwards. I would be a superhero in a fairy tale because they always end happy ever after.
I don't know what you've been told, but time is running out, no need to take it slow. I'm stepping to you toe to toe. I should be scared, honey, maybe so, but I ain't worried about it right now. Keeping dreams alive, 1999 heroes. I ain't worried about it right now. Swimming in the floods, dancing on the path below. I ain't worried about it.
An essential that I would need to keep in my cottage would be my dog because she's so cute and I would miss her. The 7 dwarf that I would probably be would be bashful because I can be kind of shy. The teacher that would survive the dangers of the enchanted forest would probably be Mr. Neal because he would stay calm and keep his composure. If I was going up against a supervillain, I would probably want to have invisibility because no one would have to get hurt. An essential that I would need to take on a quest would probably be Google Maps because I would get lost.
Hi, my name is Bob, and I approve this message.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants a blast of magic, 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 oh. I got the magic in me.
Next trick that I let tempo blow your mind. Pick a verse, any verse, I hypnotize you with every line.
One of the things I'd probably need in my cottage is probably my PS5 because, I don't know, it's fun playing with the boys, just games and just chilling. One of the 7 dwarfs I would be is probably sleepy because I feel like every day I go home after school and have to take a nap before I do anything because just anything makes me tired for some reason. If I was fighting a villain in the Enchanted Forest, I would probably choose invisibility as my superpower because I feel like I'd be able to hide better and that I wouldn't have to fight him. Something essential to take on a quest is probably my phone for me because I need to communicate with other people, and then I'd probably just get bored hanging out in the Enchanted Forest. I feel like I'd rather be a superhero rather than the villain because I don't think it's very fun being the villain at all, and superhero, you're the main part of the story.
have told me, babe, that someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days.
I was thinking about the band, I was thinking about the fans. We were underground, loading merch in that 12-passenger van, in a small club in Minnesota, and the snow outside of First Ave. I just wanted my name and a star. Now look at where we at, still growing up, still growing up.
If I could be any woodland creature, I would probably be a deer because they can be shy and clumsy, and I can be too. If I could be in any fairy tale, I would probably be in The Little Mermaid because I think it would be fun to live underwater. If I was going against a villain, I would have invisibility as my superpower, that way I could run away. My friends are essential to take on a quest with me because they make everything fun. If I could pick an animal sidekick, I would choose a fish just because I love fish.
Yeah. You come around, girl, I get weak. You put me in a trance. I want your love, I know it's worth it. Just give me a chance. I know you angry at my actions when they hit the fan. Just want your love, I know you scared, baby, just hold my hand. Cause you come around, girl, I smile. You on your way, but I need you right now. We run a race, but it took us some miles. We can just vibe and just chill for a while. People gon' talk, they just hate cause they mad.
If I had to pick an animal sidekick, it would be a badger because they're fearless and they don't care about anything. If I was one of the 7 dwarfs, I would be happy because that's basically the characteristic of me. Like, I'm always happy. If I was going up against a villain in the forest, my superpower would be super strength because I can just take a big tree and just throw it at them. I would be a superhero in a fairy tale because, you know, I like saving people and rescuing. If I was in a fairy tale, I would probably be Beauty and the Beast, playing as the Beast.
If I was a woodland creature, I think I'd be a deer because I'm very non-threatening, and if I was an animal, I'd definitely be at the bottom of the food chain. If I were in a fairy tale, I think you'd be Princess and the Frog because if I were a princess, I'd definitely be the princess to turn into a frog. If I were one of the 7 dwarves, I think I'd be bashful because I come off like sort of reserved and shy. Even right now, I'm extremely uncomfortable. I definitely think Bauman's life would make the best fairy tale. He's always so bright and cheery, and that's one of the reasons I think he'd make a really good princess. I think Brooks would be the teacher to survive the dangers of an enchanted forest because he has a lot of real-world knowledge, but I also get the feeling he's immortal.
So tight, so fly. You got me lifted, you got me lifted, you got me lifted, shifted higher than the ceiling. And ooh, it's the ultimate feeling. You got me lifted, feeling so gifted. Sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, 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 sugar, how you get so fly?
You know it's leather when we ride, wood grain and raw hide. Doing what we do, watching screens, getting. Girl, you keep it so fly with your sweet honey buns. You was there when the money gone, you be there when the money comes. Off top, I can't lie.
If I were a woodland creature, I'd definitely have to be a badger because they really have the Black Air Force energy, and that's just what I'm about. If there were an essential for my cottage, I would definitely have to pick a good or a pro chef because I eat too much food, bro. Food is so good, that's what I always eat, so I need to cook. The teacher that I think would survive the dangers of an enchanted forest would definitely have to be Mr. Zollinger because his bald head would blind the enemy and then he'd take him down with his MMA skills. That man's crazy. And also I just don't think he'd die. So, an essential on a quest I think that I would need is definitely determination and the will to get it done because if you don't have that, you're not even gonna be able to survive a day. If I were to be a superhero, or a villain, I definitely choose a villain just because I get to do what I want when I want to. I think that's definitely